Welcome to Ask Me Anything, featuring spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.
Hi, everybody. I am spiritual medium, psychotherapist, and author Kellee White. And welcome to Ask Me Anything on September 4th, 2025. How's everybody doing? Is this energy heavy enough for you? Thank you, Laura, for giving me that word. It is heavy duty energy. It's really heavy energy. So we're going to talk about that because we have upcoming eclipses and we are in eclipse, past eclipse season. We're in it. We are like right in it. So let me say hi to a few people and got lots to talk about tonight. Hi, Melissa. Melissa says, in the context of the book, Empathy and Energy, How to Protect Yourself Without Shutting Down, and advises people to protect from frantic energy by first achieving a calm, assertive state of mind. That's actually what the masters say to do, Melissa. That's very good. It's achieving a calm mind is actually the key to being here. Now, that's kind of a trick thing to do because we're constantly bombarded with stuff. And as empaths, it's like, but you're absolutely right on that. Okay, Mrs. Shai Prono, she says, I've had a very emotional week, so I need to protect my energy. Tips gratefully received. We're going to be talking about tips, and it has been an emotional week. Hi, Jean. She says, Kellee, it's been a stressful and emotional week. I have a feeling there's a pattern here, and for good reason. These energies are fierce. They're transformational energies. They change roads and things occur, and ultimately we're here to grow from all of this, but it doesn't mean that it's a good time or fun, because it's not. It's kind of rough. So and Jean, I'll get back to you with a card, honey. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Leslie. Hi, Angela. Hi, Elizabeth Scott. You love this topic? I don't know. It's a good one too. And I have to write back to you, Elizabeth. I got your email. I just haven't had time yet. Hi, Lori. Hi, Glow. Hi, Stacy. She says I could use some boundaries. That's funny. That is the key to being an empath, boundaries, of which we are going to talk about it. Eva says, first time here, so excited and grateful. Well, Eva B., I'm glad you're here. Thank you. Hi, Sherry Craft. What another strange week we are having. Yes, Sherry, 100% strange week. Yep. Actually, heavy week, strange week. Good adjectives here. Yep. Hi, Misty. Looking forward to this topic. Difficult times to be an empath. It sure is. Thank you for the topic. You're so welcome, honey. I've got a lot to say. Lori Letterby, your birthday is September 9th. And this year, on September 9th, we are going to talk a little bit about that. It's the 999 portal. And 999, it's a rare. So year 2025. Is a 9, September is a 9, and the date is a 9. So it makes it a 999 portal. That makes it completion energy. It's completion energy in the middle of 2 eclipses. So it's big. That's a big birthday, Lori. It will, what I would do on that day is I would really, if that were my birthday, I'd really pay attention to the energy, and I would give myself a tremendous amount of love, and know that you've gone through a lot in this lifetime, and you have a lot of gratitude for being here. That's probably what I would do. Some sort of maybe something for yourself. Really self-care also on that day. I think on all of our birthdays we need to do self-care. In fact, I need some right now. So. I love this. I still use this all the time. I absolutely love this. Hi, Donna Mae. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Marge. Hi, Lori Young. Hi, Jen and Dee Dee from Chicago. Dee Dee, there's a rumor that I might be coming to Chicago towards mid to later October, from what I understand. Hi, Laura. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Sandy. How are you doing? Hi, Marge. Yeah, trees are changing colors. You're right, Marge. So I live in Wisconsin, and I was driving the other day, and it's so beautiful and green. And all of a sudden I see one bright flaming red tree. I said, ooh, I guess it's fall. I guess it's the announcement of fall. Leslie, high anxiety. Yeah, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of anxiety going on, and a lot of people. That's the actual buzzword has been anxiety. So let's talk about this energy that's going on right now, and then I'll talk about being an empath. What is an empath, and all of this. But let me just start with this energy right now. So first of all, let me mention this. We still in Vedic astrology and in all astrology, we have 4 planets that are retrograde. And in Vedic astrology, we've got Saturn and Neptune that are traveling together, and they're in Pisces, and they are traveling together. So if you use that, one of those apps to show you in the sky, you will actually see Saturn and Neptune like this. So Saturn is like the rule maker, intense, karma, the teacher, and is literally this close. So imagine being in a car, like you're the responsible one, and you're with some Neptunian energy, which is, like, I don't know, very different, dreamy, illusionary. They think very differently, and they're together until, like, I don't know, for months, like February of next year. So they are retrograde right now, and in Vedic astrology, they're in Pisces. So Pluto is also the planet of transformation, is also retrograde, and it's in Capricorn in Vedic astrology. And now Uranus, as of September 6th, in a couple of days here, Uranus will be retrograde. So that'll make 4 planets retrograde, and they're big planets. It's a big deal. They're powerful. And so Uranus retrograde in Taurus in Vedic astrology on the 6th. So on the 6th of September, what happens is the planet Uranus will start off, and it will be standing still that day. So as it stands still, it makes it more powerful. It makes it more intense. And so that day before, day after, that week of this period that we're in could bring big, because it's in Taurus, explosions or big earthquakes or that kind of movement, surprises. I mean, it's been for me, a very surprising week, full of surprises, actually. So it brings surprises, So that's on September 6th. So again, right before this earthquake. And it's a big deal when Uranus goes retrograde, but it's right in front of the first eclipse. And eclipse energy brings plot twists. Didn't see that coming. And it also brings heavy energy. And don't forget, we have another eclipse on September 21. So we're really in this eclipse energy. So people might get anxious. They might feel uncomfortable. It stirs up a lot of emotions. And they call this the blood moon. And a blood moon is a total lunar eclipse, which is what this is. And so it makes the moon appear red. So that's why they get this moniker of blood moon. One thing I've noticed about this eclipse energy is a couple of things. Watch your dreams, because eclipses bring out our unconscious. The idea is to make the unconscious conscious while you're on Earth. And eclipses kind of do this. They help us with that. They help us see things that we may not have wanted to see. In people and relationships, in our work, in our families. I mean, it wakes us up to things. And so watch your dreams, because dreams also give us information of things. Also, I found that I had a couple people mention this to me, and it was interesting during this period. I think more people will have those experiences of deja vu. And if you know what deja vu is, it's common. It's a normal experience. It's like dreams, or all of a sudden you've seen there's a connection to a past event, or you've seen this happen before. And in French, it actually means already seen is what deja vu means. So it kind of describes this uncanny feeling that you have, that you've experienced a current situation before. So eclipses can bring these kind of things out. So during this eclipse, or starting now, really, it's already begun, it really signifies a period of intense transformation and the potential, always here, the potential for when an eclipse is on the horizon here, it means for spiritual growth, karmic release. So this eclipse, this one brings themes of necessary endings. And it comes right 2 days later, a day and a half later, of this 999 portal, which is an ending. And as a spiritual medium, what I like to do is look at signs. And you can't control really anything, but it always helps in a sense for me if I can see some signs ahead of time. So I do know that during this time we'll have some endings. And so maybe also this eclipse might bring, again, necessary endings, confronting things that you might have kind of not wanted to confront, reevaluating commitments maybe. And what it does is it encourages clearing out, of what is no longer working for you. And it also means to embrace deeper spiritual practices. So stepping back, to anchor into your own true self. So you also may be breaking old habits. That's another thing. I mean, I had a friend who said to me, I stopped smoking. And I said, this was like during the March eclipse. I said, you stopped smoking. How did you do that? She said, I got really sick right at that eclipse. And she said, that was the end of that. So breaking old habits, releasing karmic baggage. Let's say you've been carrying around other people's stuff and things that you are just tired of dealing with. And so it might be that. And also, here's another thing. Thinking about a higher purpose in this lifetime. That is what eclipses also do. They make us mindful. Why am I here? Now remember, we come to Earth to learn all kinds of things. And everybody's at a different development of growth. And yet we're all going to be hit with eclipse energy. We're always here to grow and to learn. So also this eclipse in Vedic astrology is in Aquarius. So what we're going to do is we're going to see shifts across all social reform. So there'll be a lot of humanitarian breakthroughs. There'll be a lot of turbulence during these times. So it's not necessarily a time to make a life decision. If you can wait probably a couple weeks, even after the next eclipse, it would be better. Now, sometimes we don't, we have to make a decision. And in eclipse time, we often do make decisions. But if it's, something that you can postpone, probably better. If you could, that would probably be a good thing. Because this lunar eclipse is going to stir up a lot of emotions. So when we have a lot of emotions, we're not thinking clearly. And also, this eclipse in Aquarius in Vedic astrology is with the nakshatra called Purva Bhadrapada. And that is associated with transformation, intensity, and duality. So when I talk about duality, it means that you might see things in a different way now. Instead of black or white, you may start to see things. The duality is not going to work for you anymore. So you'll look at, the things that you need, unfinished business, maybe things will, complete or resolve. So one of the things to do on the eclipse is on Sunday. So if you can, listen, if you don't have to go out, don't go out. The eclipse is in the morning in the United States. I think in the Midwest, in Central Time, I think it starts around 10:30. I think Los Angeles, it starts around 8:30 a.m. And it lasts for a few hours. So if you can kind of stay in that during that period, do a meditation, drink a lot of fluid. We always say with this, rest. Probably be a better thing if you could reflect, journal, take a relaxing bath. But it's not a time period in the morning, if you can't avoid it, to go out and do a bunch of stuff. So it's think like that, not a time to put your crystals out. So eclipses do mark endings and beginnings of cycles. So it's a really powerful time to go inward. So, and align your intentions for the future. So that would be a good thing to do. And then on September 9th, we have the 999 portal day, and that energy signifies endings, completions, and a combination of cycles. So that too is a time for reflection, letting go of what no longer serves you, embracing new beginnings. So it's seen as a gateway for spiritual growth, and it brings in healing and deeper connection with oneself, which is really important because we always say, know thyself. So this is a period, this month, be a lot of rocking and rolling and a lot of surprise, events. And so want to go to that calm state that Melissa had mentioned earlier. It's true. You want to be as calm as you can as you're going through all of this. It's not easy to do. And it's just not easy to do. If you were born on the 9th or on the 18th or 27th, that energy is also considered a 9 energy, the 18th or the 27th. So again, powerful, powerful time. So, and if you go to my social media, I'm going to be talking about, I'm going to be doing a little meditation for that. I think that will be put up. So that's for that. And now I want to talk a lot about being an empath, because I think that's really important. And then then I have some couple of special guests that are going to be here, which I'm really excited about, for a few minutes. And then I'm going to answer as many questions as I can. So what exactly is an empath? And Laura, you asked a good question. Are we born this way, or is it developed? Is it from trauma in a past life? So here's the thing. I believe that we have a certain temperament when we're born. Okay. And that's really based on our soul, our mission. Maybe we're here to learn discernment. Maybe we're here to study anxiety. Maybe we're here to understand what depression is, so we can have compassion for ourselves and for others. And so often trauma is involved with being an empath. Often it is. Trauma can be, particularly in childhood trauma, it can absolutely contribute to a heightened sense of empathy and emotional sensitivity. So that absolutely can play out. It doesn't have to be. It is, in my case, a lot of early trauma would have led. I know that I was always empathic, always, and I think it's a temperament, frankly. But it can be twofold. You can have it, a lot of trauma, but I think the temperament is there for it, actually. I do. So, and what is an empath? An empath is someone who's uniquely open, uniquely sensitive, to the point that they may be able to embody and process emotions that somebody else's experience is. So if you think about it, empathy is kind of like the wiser brother, if you will, to compassion. They go hand in hand. So not only do empaths grow and heal by processing the emotions of other people, but empaths often can be advisors or healers. Empaths are incredible. It really is a superpower. There's a great book that Dr. Judith Orloff wrote, and it's called The Empath's Survival Guide. And it really is a terrific book. And she talks about a lot of coping mechanisms of how to deal with if you are an empath. Now, here are the traits. So listen to these traits and check them off your list. You might go, check, check, check. You might go, no, I don't think so. And there is a difference between being an empath and a highly sensitive person. So a highly sensitive person might be, oh, that smells bad. Oh, I don't like the touch of that. Oh, da. But they have no empathy. So empaths are always sensitive. But they have empathy and compassion. Okay, that's the difference. Not all HSPs, highly sensitive people, are empaths. People get them mixed up. They're two different things. In my book, they're two different things. So anyway, here we go. So here's some of the traits here. Are you an emotional sponge? Do you pick up the emotions of others? Are you highly intuitive? Check. Do you feel strange around fake people? Check. Do you feel selfless? Are you a pushover? Can you tell when somebody is lying or telling the truth? Can you tell? Are you interested in doing shadow work? Always an empath, they go through so much throughout their lives that they're usually really interested in, what is what else is going on. They're usually really interested in that. They have a sense of knowing. Empaths know. Okay. Empaths accept responsibility, whether it's they created something or not. Watch that one. Are you a daydreamer? Now, also, some of these traits could be for ADHD also, because what I find is that many ADHD or ADD people are empaths. So are you on edge around other people? I mean, humans are complicated, right? We can be this and this and this and this, and it's all good. Are you compassionate? Do you have possible OCD tendencies? And the reason that comes up sometimes with empaths is because they're trying to use a coping mechanism to control something in their life. Will people tell you their problems? You know, that was a ginormous check for me. I made a business out of it. Okay. Do large crowds overwhelm you? There was a time, and kind of still to this day, I really can't go into large crowds. I have to really protect myself and really want to go in there. I could never go to malls. When I was growing up, like malls were the thing. I would be like, oh, no, I know I don't want to go. Thank you. Do you support the underdog? Do you have gut problems? That's a big one for empaths, because empaths' emotions are stored in the gut. That's a big one. So, do narcissists find you easily? There's a big connection between that, because what happens is an empath goes, oh, I see the real person underneath all the nonsense. I see the real person. I see the soul, and I know he or she is really a good person. And so they attach. And then, of course, they're, you saw the snake and you got bit by the snake. So that happens with empaths all the time. Are you easily manipulated? Do you put others' needs over your own? Do you love your own alone time? So important. It's critical for empaths. Do you get emotionally drained? So these are some of these. Oh, do you detest forms of aggression? Oh, no can do. Are you able to tell whose emotion it belongs to? That's a good one to know. So, do you have an addictive personality? A lot of times, empaths have that. They'll smoke or they'll drink or they'll eat a lot or whatever. It's really just to try to find some way to calm them. So, again, I believe that empaths, why do we attract certain energies? I think that we can see the goodness in people. I do. And that's why boundaries are really important. Because, yes, you can dig through and see the goodness in somebody, but it doesn't mean that that person is good for you. So you have to really learn discernment. And one of the things that I think is really important for empaths to understand is what Eckhart Tolle describes as the pain body. And the pain body is an accumulation of past and maybe unaccepted emotional pain, and it exists like dormantly, or sometimes it's active energetically around a person. So have you ever seen somebody who is like a professional worrier? Well, really what they're in, no matter what, you can't stop them from that. And it goes hand in hand with empaths, hand in hand with them. And so it's a pain body that gets activated. And so when this happens, when it gets active as an empath, that pain body can take over the mind, and it makes it really impossible to make conscious, to make it, your conscious observation, to make a conscious observation that you're in this state. But empaths tend to go into this pain body state. So you really do have to activate or understand, if you are dealing with, as an empath, first of all, you have to discern your own pain and suffering. And then you have to, is it yours or does it belong to somebody else? And then if it is yours, are you in this pain body? Are you in this pain body? It's really important, because empaths, I think they need to understand the pain body here. I think it's going to be really important for managing empathic vulnerability, because empathic vulnerability can bring up your own pain. So it goes like this, and it involves self-care. So it's so important that we identify first if we are empath. And if we are an empath, you need to take responsibility for it. It's a gift. It is a gift. Okay, I know I walk into a room and go, whoop, yep, nope, yep. I've really worked hard on how to handle this gift, and I do call it a gift. I mean, I take this over not having it, because it's everything. It's empathy. It's everything. So what you want to do when you are an empath is how to protect your energy without closing your heart. You must set boundaries. Okay, so you have to recognize your empathic nature. You have to understand that. And then you have to implement strategies. And that strategy is all about, yes, I'm an empath. And it's one thing to say, I'm an empath. You don't have to do that. Just know, yes, you are. And then strategize. Because you are an empath, you take responsibility for it. And then what do you do? What do you do with it? So you have to prioritize self-care. So self-care means I need time out. I can't do anything on this day at this time. I have to take care of myself. And you have to put yourself first. It's almost impossible for an empath to do that. I'm asking you to do the impossible. But at least, periodically check in with yourself every day. What do I need right now? Do I need to set a boundary from somebody or a situation? Can I do that? Yeah, you can do it. You can do it. It's a muscle. You start practicing it. And then you prioritize self-care. You have to cultivate awareness. You have to be very aware of what's going on around you at all times. Okay, it's really important. It can be draining, but once you get it down, you're like, look, no, I don't get drained anymore. I really don't. And then when I realize somebody else has a pain body, I just look at it and go, okay, that's where they're in their pain body right now. Okay. So as an empath, you have to be smart. You have to be wise. You have to, again, take responsibility for your own feelings here. I think it's really important. And you also have to learn to recharge yourself, especially when you've been around others. So the first thing is, again, acceptance. Who am I? Am I an empath? And then have responsibility for yourself. Second thing is, when you are out in a crowd or out anywhere, whatever, surround yourself with what I would call an invisible shield. And I will do that. I literally will do that. I'm like, oh boy, here we go. I have to go into the store. Okay, here I go. And it works. It does work because I'm conscious of it. I'm very conscious of it. Now, also, don't suppress the gift, if you will. If you can, don't suppress it with drugs and alcohol. If you can avoid that, because actually empaths are really sensitive to that. So you got to watch that. And I'm not suggesting don't ever do that or that at all. But I just mean just be mindful of what you're doing here. Just waking up to this. Definitely spend time alone. You need your alone time, okay? And what I do is I'll go out and I touch a tree. I've got my apple trees. I love my apple trees. They're not doing so well this year. I don't know why. I think they're getting tired. But I love them. Anyway, I go out and I just tell them how much I love them, and I put my arms all over them. I love my apple trees. I swear to God. Go out barefoot. That's a big one. Here's another thing that will really help to recharge you. High frequency music, like huge with music. I've got my little earbuds in and I'm blasting away, and it changes up the energy, changes the energy. So what you pay attention to, like I can't watch the news too much. I can't be around anything that's aggressive. Forget about it. I won't. I can't watch scary movies or intense movies. I cannot, and I won't. So again, know thyself. Know what you can do. Know what you can't do. Hydrate, because when you're an empath, there's a lot of electricity that goes out. Hydrate a lot. Drink a lot of water. Okay. Go out in fresh air. This is a big one. Breathe, because you're learning. I'm giving you the tips of the trade as an empath, and it's something that you live with all the time. It's not going to go away. So embrace it. Embrace it. I'm an empath. I'm an empath. And then take responsibility for it. And I really mean this. Deep breathing helps. Do something creative. Oh my gosh. I don't care if it's cooking. I don't care if it's art. I don't care if it's doing painting rocks, which is my new favorite thing now. I love that. Like a thing about that now. And take a nap. Rest. Anything you can. It's okay to not go to a social event. Give yourself permission. No, I'm not up for it. Again, my whole thing is I usually say no first, and then I go, let me think about it. So I think those are all really good tips to help you with a lot of this, because being an empath is a big, big, big deal here. Okay, so having said all of that, I'm very, very excited because I have two people that I just adore that I am going to announce to you in just a second here. Okay, so I have welcome two guests. I have the lovely Jen Weigel. Are you on, Jen?
Hi.
Hi, Jen.
Hey,
And
Kellee.
Amy O'Keefe. Amy, are you on too?
I'm on.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm so excited to see you. So let me just tell everybody that may not know who you guys are, because we're going to talk about the All Souls Retreat, and I'm so excited about this. So Jen is an award-winning broadcast journalist, and she's an author and a coach, and she's been on a journey to tell stories that change lives for over 25 years. I personally met Jen through James Van Prague. It's how we met, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, he's a huge fan of yours. He loves you so much. And she is also the founder and the host of All Souls Retreat and the popular podcast, I'm Spiritual, Damn It, and the Jen Weigel Show, which if you don't know Jen, you've got to know her. You've got to get to know her. And then Amy, who's also an author, amazing voiceover actor, a member of SAG, and she spent the past 25 years studying the works of spiritual masters and has successfully led and produced workshops and retreats on the topic of spiritual development. And she's also the founder of All Souls Retreat. So welcome, you guys. Welcome. Oh my God, I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you.
So tell us what inspired you guys to do the All Souls Retreat, which is in Wisconsin, the second weekend in November.
Yes. Yeah, November 7th, 8th, and 9th. I mean, Amy and I talk about this a lot. We remember it so well because we were sitting on my red couch and pulling angel cards and talking about how didn't we have a small gathering, Amy, in the living room or something, and it went so well that we thought, how can we do this for more people, bringing people together who want to talk about spirituality, want to talk about communicating with the other side and our intuition and all these things that it was like kind of voodoo at the time, 8-9 years ago. Well, it wasn't voodoo, but it was less common, right, Amy?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah. Yes. And then we pulled an angel card, and the angel card was co-create. Or no, exchanging gifts. Exchanging gifts. That was it. On the Colette Baron Reed deck of the Wisdom of the Oracle, one of my favorite decks. And it was exchanging gifts. And then it was kind of like we stuffed it back in and we pulled it out again. So then
twice.
It was like twofer, and when they were like, well, once, okay, but twice it's like an anvil over the head. So we decided to come up with an agenda. And the first one was here in the Wisconsin area. What was the Ridge Hotel is now the Lodge Hotel off of Route 50. Like, didn't we just gather in the bar, Amy?
We really did. Yes,
like 45
exactly.
people, 50 people. And now we sell out. We're on our 8th year. We still keep it. We still keep it intimate. But what am I leaving out, Amy? There's still so much.
Yes, there is. Well, I will say Jen and I both went through really deep losses, and I had lost my best friend. Jen lost her dad, and we both found ourselves on a similar spiritual path. And I had read about Jen's book, Stay Tuned, and I just loved it. And, speaking of being an empath, I just really felt something in my gut and heart that I needed to connect with this person. And I just felt like we're going to be friends. And sure enough, we had the same voiceover agent, and we met each other by accident there. And I just had this hit like, wait a minute, is that Jen Weigel? And, lo and behold, one thing led to the next. We found that we had known so many people in common. And I went and saw her one woman show, and just the rest is history. So we spent a lot of time talking about our own spiritual paths, our own spirituality, wanting to learn more. And we wanted to share that with others. And so we also learned so much going through our losses. And we knew there was more to death and where our loved ones were than just they died and that's it. We knew they were on the other side. We felt communications. And so we wanted to bring people together on All Souls. We wanted other people to have a place and a space to heal, to learn, to enrich their souls. And we wanted to continue to learn and have a place to connect with like-minded others. So,
and it really is like-minded others. There's nothing
where it all began.
Quite like it. I mean, I've been there several times at this point, and I love it. I look forward to it. The people are so kind. You guys are so welcoming, and everybody gets to learn all kinds of things. You have such interesting speakers, that are there, and it's just fascinating. And everybody's, again, kind, compassionate, nice. So it's a lovely crowd. It's a beautiful place.
We have everything from this year. We'll have Akashic records, feng shui, mediums, healers, psychics. There's male speakers, female speakers. So a lot of people are like, can I bring my +1 if he's not too into it? They wind up coming in and having a ball.
Oh, I remember that. I remember last year, a lot of them ended up coming up.
Yeah. And so it's nice to be able to have that dialogue with your partner if you have one, or make it a girls' trip. I mean, a lot of people make this their annual girls' trip. And we started off on All Souls Day, which is like after All Saints Day and after Halloween. But this year that falls on a weekend which has Halloween on it. So we pushed it back to the 7th, 8th, and 9th of November, just because we didn't want to have a Friday of Halloween where a lot of people have kids and they couldn't make it, because we have programming Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday morning, and we're done by noon. So there's just a lot of options for people to learn, get readings, get information, yourself included, sharing your gifts. It's just a great way for people to receive and give.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. I'm excited that I'll be a speaker again this year, and I love it. It's just so much fun and just a great energy. You guys do a super job there. So I'm really looking forward to it. And people come from all over the world to go to this.
They do. We have somebody from Qatar this year, don't we?
Yeah,
that's right.
Ooh, that's
Qatar,
should get a prize for coming the
right.
furthest. Wow,
Yeah.
wow. Well, and it's a beautiful location.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in the fall. It's in Wisconsin. It's beautiful, and really, again, thank you for having it in Wisconsin.
How great is that? Yeah, the Abbey Resort.
Absolutely.
It's such a sacred space.
In your backyard, right?
Exactly. Your backyard, my backyard. But Amy, eventually it'll be your backyard. We'll all be up here. But it's a cozy spot, but it doesn't feel too big, but you're right on the water here at the Abbey Resort with this beautiful path. And I just checked before we went on. We do still have some tickets available if people want to go to the All Souls Retreat website, because there's still some spots to join the fun.
Okay, wonderful. So they just go to All Souls Retreat. Can we put that up? Jared, would you put that up for everybody?
www.
Okay.
All Souls Retreat.
All Souls Retreat.
Okay.
And I should add too, is there are several people who actually come on their own. So we love it. Bring a girlfriend, bring your significant other. We've had the same family come since the beginning, and all the sisters, the 4 sisters, and then their friends. So it becomes somewhat of a tradition. But for those who are traveling alone, we go out, we make sure that no one feels alone. And, by Saturday, they're arm in arm with, their 2 new best friends. And
so true.
If you're coming alone, we send out an email and say who wants to join a group for dinner, so that you're not on your own for dinner. We are intentional about seating and talking to your neighbor. So, don't be shy. If you're by yourself, come give yourself that gift of self-care. Because, we've just heard, there was something that told me I needed to go to this, and it truly changed my life. So it's just,
it's very true. You'll meet, and everybody's really interesting. Everybody that goes is interesting. Anyway,
everyone's got a story, Kellee.
Everybody's got a story. Everybody's got a story, and I can't wait. I'm looking forward to seeing you girls, and I'm really excited about it all. And It's going to be wonderful. And thank
Thank
you for
you.
joining me today. I'm really looking forward to seeing
We're
you
so
soon. And
excited. We can't wait.
all right,
Yes.
everybody. Thank you, guys. Have a great night. And I'll talk to you a
Thank
little
you,
later.
Kellee.
All right. Thanks, Amy. Thanks, Jen. Oh my gosh. So if anybody has the time or the desire to get to Wisconsin, it's a beautiful place. This hotel is beautiful. And it's really a wonderful group. And these two are wonderful. I just adore them. They do great. So let me get to some questions here because I have a lot of questions to answer here. I'm just so glad they got to stop by. Oh, and before I forget, if you, right now I have 10% off on all of my readings in September, 10% off. Should have been 9% actually with the $9.99, but it's 10% off. And so if you go to my website, I'm open in September. I'm also open. I still have a few spots left for my Power of 10 on September 13th. So please join us. And also I have tomorrow is Friday and it's my first 5 o'clock somewhere it's a live event for my subscribers on my app. And whether you want a cocktail, I probably will have one cocktail, or just a regular anything, just join us. We're going to talk about our weekend or our week, what kind of week we've had. And I think it's just going to be a wonderful place to gather. Every other Friday, I'm going to do this. So anyway, look forward to that. It's called 5 o'clock somewhere. Happens to be 5 o'clock my time in Wisconsin. So it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to that. And next week, I don't want to forget that next Thursday, James Van Prague and I will be doing our prediction show on my show. And then we have a major announcement. So I'm really excited. Oh, and one last thing. I forgot. I also have, I'm teaching a class with Shauna McDonald, and it's an incredible class. And it is about unlocking the mystery, if you will, and the magic of rare crystals. So we're going to be talking about unusual crystals. And that class is October 11th, and the first 20 people to sign off get $20 off with code EARLYBIRD20. So anyway, I hope you can join me for any of these things, which will be so much fun. So let me answer some of these questions here because I've got some questions. I had a bunch of questions here. Okay. So Patricia Weaver says, Kellee, I look forward to this program. I'm an empath and I can really benefit from your advice. So when I was talking about being an empath, you mentioned here, Patricia, that you need to turn off the switch at times. Absolutely. So if we imagine, that we can put a bubble around, turn off the switch, go by yourself, be alone. For me, I think that's the greatest gift that I can do. I just go into wherever I need to do I'll be still, I'll be reading. I just take me time. I think me time is really important. It's not overrated. It's important. And it's everything when you're an empath, And you can be an empath that is also loves to get out there too. You can be that too. But you also usually as an empath need to recover, rest and recover. So anyway, I think that's important here. And so anyway, here we go. What else do I have here? I think that was it. Any questions? Let's see here. What else can I answer? Okay, so Laura Valaterius, she says, Kellee, I want to see you again in Chicago. Oh, that would be great. So I'm working on that. We might have a date in October, about the third week in October, I think it is. And you have a birthday Sunday on the blood moon eclipse. Laura, if your birthday, and you're going to be 60 on October 6th, on September 6th, that is a big, big deal. The 7th. So that makes you a 4 of diamonds, and you're going to be 60. What a big year for you. Laura, that's big because you will have already completed pretty much your Saturn return. And so I would say a lot of things would end and a lot of things will begin for you, Laura. What a happy birthday, honey. I think that's amazing. And Lori, I know you're having knee surgery, you said on Tuesday. On September 9th, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Julie says, my birthday was September 2nd. And absolutely, let's get a message from the angels. How about that, Julie? I've got my angel number thing. I've got my angel numbers. And I've been working on my own oracle cards. I'm so excited about them. They won't be ready yet, but I'm working hard on them. Okay, so here we go, Julie. Here's a card for you for your birthday. Ooh, 272. It's a unique number, 272. That actually is an 11 if you think about it, if you add that up. Confidence. It means confidence for you. So happy birthday to you, Julie, with a lot of confidence. And Jean, this is for you, Jean, from the angel card. Here we go, 525. This will make you laugh, Jean. Reshape yourself there, girl. And reshaping is not fun, is it? It's just not fun. I don't like that part of it. But anyway, hi, Fern. How you doing, honey? Yeah, Linda, I've got the red gladiolas. You know, we're kind of getting into the, I don't even want to say the word fall yet, but we're kind of there. We're kind of getting there. Okay, Bailey says, Kellee, I was born under an eclipse and Neptune was stationary. Wow. That's big, Bailey. That's big, Bailey. So if you're born under an eclipse, an eclipse can bring a lot of power to us. So if we're born under an eclipse, it can bring literally a lot of power there. There's a special energy about it. It's deep soul here. And if Neptune was stationary, it's a powerhouse, Bailey. You could probably move mountains, honey. That's a big deal. Jackie says, will this expose or awaken more folks to demand a new heart-based government? I would think so, Jackie, because Uranus is the planet of shock and surprise. We've got Pluto, hovering about in retrograde. Yeah, and that's huge transformation. And yeah. Elena says, I haven't had a deja vu since I was a child. It's so funny, Elena. One of the people I was talking to today we were talking about our childhoods and having deja vus a lot when we're children. Isn't that funny that you would say that? And then you'll see every once in a while, particularly with eclipse energy, you may start to experience some. I mean, it's something you just don't really, hear much talk about anymore. But okay, Lisa says, hi, Kellee, strap in for September. Yes, let me get you a card. And you're in your Saturn return, Lisa. Here we go. Ooh, 24. Wait a minute. Those of Sandy Studner, I'm talking to you. Remember that song? Was it the year 2525 or the year 2424? Back in the day in our generation? Okay, it says unconditional love, Lisa. Unconditional love. How great is that? Unconditional love, 2424. I swear, that was a big song, wasn't it? In the year 2525? I think it was If Man Is Still Alive. The oddest things come back to my head. Okay. Lisa, so 45th wedding anniversary on September 6th. Yes, you get a card, Lisa. First of all, congratulations. Wow. Ooh, 555. So it's a butterfly transformation change. 555 change. So, Lisa, maybe the anniversary will have a lot of, change, travel to it or something. Hi, Julianne Siegel. Thanks. I appreciate that, honey. Now, Julianne Siegel is one of our speakers at the All Souls event with Amy and Jen. And she's a powerhouse with feng shui. Powerhouse here. So I'm so excited that you're going to be there, Julianne. I'm really excited about that. So Deborah Patching, your birthday is 9/9. What should I know? Will you please choose a card for me from my parents? Yes, I will, Deb. Absolutely, Deborah. So if your birthday is on 9/9/9, it's funny, I was doing a session with a woman today who we were talking about her husband and who was ill. And I said, oh, when's his birthday? And she said, September 9th. I said, whoa, this year, September 9th? It's a big day. It's a portal. It means a lot of completions, Deb, a lot of endings, and then a lot. But you've had a lot of endings, And so I think this year going forward, you're going to see all kinds of new opportunities. That's what an ending does. Ooh, this is interesting. It's like a puzzle piece here, Deb, for you. Although you may not understand it now, everything happens for a reason. And that really is the truth. We don't know. We try to guess or we try to figure it out, or why did this happen or why did that happen? But ultimately, on the other side, we will find out soon enough. Barbara says, what is my purpose? So Barbara, here's the thing to do. So Barbara Rosefield says this, what is my purpose? And anybody who really doesn't know their purpose, a lot of people don't, go into a meditation, particularly on this eclipse, and really go inward. And your higher self knows, your soul knows the answer to that. Might be helping others. It might be with, having acceptance, loving yourself. I mean, these are the kind of things that we come to Earth for, to discover all kinds of things. Okay, so Carla Weathers. Hi, Carla Bell, and I know you're going to be there because you're also in Wisconsin with me. I've been feeling and seeing angels all around me for the past week. Okay, that's fabulous. They've been helping me leave old drama and baggage behind, have felt spiritually stronger. So that is something that happens, Carla, when we start seeing angels. It really wakes us up spiritually in such an extraordinary way. And it will always remind us that we're souls having a physical experience on earth, that's all. And our souls are is love and compassion, and we're not to carry old dramas anymore. And that's a big lesson. So big lesson for everybody is to let go of the old dramas, the old stories. Oh my God. And it's funny. I guess, I don't know if it's because I'm getting older. I really don't know. But the more dramas I hear, and I hear a lot of them, I'm privy to a lot of drama. I go, oh, okay, I'll be darned. And then there's this it's earlier what Melissa said. It's about being calm, even in the state of not connecting into the drama. You go, oh, okay, isn't that an interesting one? Like that. I mean, you just get to a place of that. So, but I'm glad you're seeing angels. I'm glad, Carl. Let me get you a card, honey. It is beautiful where I am, and that is from one of your loved ones. It is beautiful from where I am, Carla. Okay? I think that's definitely. Okay, Laura says, oh, and your 60th birthday, I just did that. Okay, that's great. Okay, Mira says, I'd love a card. So let me see, Mira, let me get you a card here. Ooh, 1212. Choices. You make choices. So this is an interesting one because during this, eclipses bring up situations that we will have free will choices. What are we going to say? What are we going to do? What are we going to make of our lives? What they do is they kind of hold that space. Eclipses really, they hold that space to get clear so you can move forward. And life is all about moving forward. Things happen. You deal with what you can deal with. You move forward if you can. And that's how life is. Rose Lee says, Kellee, I'm having a deja vu. I think the dog that passed I got from my daughter, and he was born in March. I'm getting a new puppy for the same daughter next Thursday. Ooh, that's wonderful. And they're both Pomeranians. Very good. Julie says, my hubby has been having deja vus. Wow. And it's been picking up intense energies, and it's been hard to sleep. Oh, so first of all, I have had more people say to me, I can't sleep. I can't sleep. Here's another thing. And please, and I mean this, drive carefully. One of my closest friends got in a pretty bad car accident a couple of days ago. And it was not her fault at all. It was in Los Angeles, and it was somebody out of control and hit her car. So just be, careful and mindful when you're driving, especially if you drive during an eclipse. Okay, but just know that this kind of craziness energy out there, it's an eclipse is like, so, we talk about full moons and crazy energy. Well, keep quadrupling that. That's what a lunar eclipse is. Lunar. Okay. Yes, Sandy, let me get you a card, Sandy. Here we go. Reflect, 666. And you're like, I have been reflecting. That's a good card, though. Reflect, honey. Okay, Mark Brevard. Hi, Mark. I've been telling myself every day to slow down and breathe and try and remember that I signed up for this. And yes, I admit I'm a glutton for punishment. Okay, that is so funny. I have this card, and I'm going to paraphrase it. I got it over the last week or so. It was so funny. And it says something like, oh, I see that person's psychotic. I'll hit send. It's like, yeah, remind yourself you don't want to be a glutton for punishment. You want to slow down. You signed up for this. We did sign up for it. We also signed up to use our free will choices to make good choices and to move forward with making good choices. And I think that's And Miranda says, Kellee, I've been speaking up and putting things plain and simple, and now I'm going to chill out for self-care. Good. Letting the eclipse pass by. I think that's a great one. That's a great one. Kim Ann says, I have to listen to the recording later. I'm at a Women in Business event. Ooh, listening to Chrissy Metz. I love Chrissy. She's wonderful. Oh, that's great, Kim Ann. I'm excited about that. Lizette. Oh, hi, Lizette. Jordan returned to live with you. How great. Wow. Wow, Lizette. That's fantastic. Good to see you, honey. I'm really happy to hear that. Wow. I've got chills. That's a good thing. That's a good sign, right? Cheryl Wharton says, I'll be traveling on the 6th and on the 11th. So, Cheryl, let's see. You're going to be traveling. A lot of people are going to be traveling. Really. I know actually several that will be on a plane during that time. You know what? It's all going to be okay. Just put lots of lovely white and gold light around yourself. And remember, you're just having an experience on Earth. Think like that. Yeah, Michelle, actually, Kavanaugh says, good crystals to carry. She's absolutely right. Or black tourmaline. You're right, Michelle. That is a good one. That's a good one to carry for when you're traveling. And during this time periods, actually, because it's very grounding. And it kind of repels negative energy. That's a good one. And rose quartz. Thank you for that. I forgot about that. Empath here. Hi, Judy. Yeah, see, I'm definitely an empath. And definitely empaths can run in families and it can be passed down. And it's funny. You might have like a few siblings that are empaths and then there's that one asshole. And you're just like, really, buddy? And that happens too. But empaths really do run in families. They certainly can. Or you may be the only empath in your family. That's just kind of a funny how that works, right? Are highly sensitive people souls from other planets? Laura, often the answer is yes. Often the answer is yes on them. And yeah, I'd have to say that. Many of them are Pleiadians. The Pleiadians are very sensitive souls that come on Earth, but there are lots of galaxies that they can come from. But yeah, yes, that is absolutely. Rose says, I'm highly intuitive and I feel weird around fake people. Oh, it's so true. No can do. No can do. So Lizette says, I'm fostering my grandson who's an empath. I'm so thrilled, and he has had a lot of trauma. So his birthday on 6, I remember the story, Lizette, 6/12, 5 of diamonds. 5 of diamonds is surrounded by angels. I've got chills, surrounded by angels, and I'm here to learn self-worth. So Lizette, you'll help him with self-worth, okay? I think that's everything. I think that's going to be everything. Hi, Jen Tran. How are you doing? Check. Let me get you a card, honey. 1144. You are leveling up. Leveling up. I think that's a great one. So everybody, yes. Oh, Jamie says, what about taking on other people's grief? You can't do that. You can't. If it doesn't belong to you, you can have compassion for it. You can have empathy for it. You can be there to help, and certainly be there to help. Certainly be there to help. Don't take on the grief. It's really hard because I'm a grief specialist. I'm a grief counselor. And some of the stories you hear are pretty hard to hear. And still, yet, I don't take it on. I don't. I'm there. I'm a compassionate listener. And again, so I understand that one. And practice discernment, yes, and shielding practices. Again, own it that this is who you are. You're an empath. Great. But don't circle around in a pain body. Don't do that. Okay. Instead, stop yourself and get a lot of help. Okay. So I hope that helps everybody tonight. I know, Elena, I wish I had known this 40 years ago too. I love that. I wish I had too. And I wish I could answer more questions, but I've got to go. So everybody, if you'd like a session with me, I'm open in September. I have 10% off. Join any of my classes. I'm looking forward to 5 o'clock somewhere tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to that, seeing my group tomorrow. And James and I are going to be doing predictions next Thursday. Anyway, take care and be very mindful of yourself during this eclipse energy. All right, take care, my friends. I'll see you next week.
You've been listening to Ask Me Anything, featuring spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.